Hey everybody, it's Brian here. I hope you're all doing well. So, have you ever come across a situation where you're uncertain whether or not you've infringed on somebody's copyright, or worse yet, trademark? How can you tell the difference between the two? What's it all about? How can it affect your print-on-demand business, and worse yet, how can it affect your account? In today's episode, we're going to be looking into that. So, stay tuned. Now, before we go into today's video, if you're somebody who enjoys all things pertaining to print-on-demand, tips, tricks, and motivations, this channel is the channel for you. I try to provide as many tips, advice, and motivation to help you succeed in your print-on-demand business. So if you're new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button, give this video a like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon so that you'll be informed each and every time that I upload a new video to this channel. So with that said, let's get on to today's episode. Okay, so before we get into this explanation, I want to send a huge thanks to one of my followers, both on Instagram and YouTube, who posed a question. Came from B. Mohammed, who commented, "Please, friend, I need a video about how to avoid copyright and trademark in POD industry." And obviously, I'm here to serve and to help people clarify things when needed. So today, this is the reason why we are obviously discussing this topic. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to define what copyright and trademark are. So effectively, copyright is geared towards literacy, artistic and musical material, which includes choreographic, pictorial, graphic, sculptural, and audiovisual creations. So if a person has created it and nobody else has created it before the person has created this particular piece of work, then that person owns the copyright. So let's say, for example, you've created a design. And then somebody comes up to you or rather somebody files a copyright claim against you. What is normally done is they see who created the design first, and the person who has the earliest design uploaded will obviously win the copyright claim. Copyright is not something which is easy to enforce. There's a lot of gray area in this, so don't worry too much about this. What's important is that if you create a design, make sure that it's unique and it's something that you designed, not that you've taken from somebody else and copied pixel for pixel. If you copy something pixel for pixel, then you are copyright infringing on that particular designer. You don't want to do that. What you can do is you can take a design and you can tweak it slightly so that effectively it becomes a brand new design. And this means taking a piece of it and changing it, or else taking an idea. Okay, and this is something which is better to do. You say, for example, you find a design that you really like and it resonated with you and really motivated you to come up with your own design. Best thing to do is to try and modify it totally from your perspective. That means if it means finding a different clip art, changing the font, changing the placement of the design. In this manner, when you're finished creating it, even though it was influenced by a particular design you saw, that new design is effectively your new design, and nobody can come against you for copyright infringement. So that's what you need to keep in mind with respect to copyright. Now, in terms of trademark is a whole different creature. Trademark includes a symbol, word, or words, okay, that defines a company's brand or that distinguishes the source of the goods. Now, there are a lot of very popular brands out there which have trademarks, and those include, for example, sports companies like the NHL, the NFL. So the NHL is the National Hockey League, NFL is the National Football League, NBA is the National Basketball Association. And then there are food products like Coca-Cola. Okay, this also involves movies too as well. For example, the Avengers, and also companies like Disney. So these are all examples of trademarked, branded symbols, words, and phrases. You cannot go in and create something using any of the logos, any of the font styles, for example, with respect to Disney, Coca-Cola. In doing so, you can get slapped on the wrist for trademark infringement. And if you do it once, maybe it's just a warning. But if you do it repeatedly, you can risk being sued, and you can also risk having your account suspended and taken down. So do be careful about that. Stay far away from using trademarked material in your designs. Trust me, it's not worth it. Okay, so some people ask, well, how can you find out if something is trademarked? Let's say, for example, you've come across a phrase that you would really like to use in a design. How am I going to go about checking to see if somebody doesn't already own the trademark for that? Okay, so the best way to find out is by using a website online, such as the one that I've showed you on the screen here. It's called Trademarkia, and it's very simple to use. Basically, all you do is you just key in the word or phrase that you would like to check to see if there's a trademark on it. So, for example, I'm a real big fan of the Detroit Red Wings, the National Hockey League. Let's see if it's trademarked. Obviously, it is, but we're giving you an example. So, Detroit Red Wings. And already you can see that a number of things pertaining to Detroit Red Wings have popped up. But if I just wanted to check Detroit Red Wings and I clicked on search, clearly this is a trademarked phrase, all right? And it's trademarked for shirts, jerseys, sweaters, t-shirts, sweatpants, shorts, caps, scarves, and a whole slew of other things, all sold in connection and intended to be identified with the Detroit Red Wings professional ice hockey team. So I would definitely not consider using this phrase or the logo of the Detroit Red Wings in a design of mine, because in doing so, I would obviously be infringing on this hockey team's trademark. So we don't want to do that, because obviously I want to protect my account and I don't want to be sued. But if there's something that you wanted to check, let's say, for example, how to pick up chicks. How to pick up chicks. Now, I use this phrase because there's a very popular shirt that's been selling on Amazon and other print-on-demand websites, which is using a play on this, and effectively is just a picture of a stick man going down and picking up a chick from the floor and picking it up. It's hilarious, but obviously I want to check to see if there's a trademark on it. Okay, so in typing in the phrase, I would click on search. And as you can see, there isn't anything, because if there was, it would have told me. In fact, the website is offering me the opportunity to trademark that phrase too as well. And obviously the pertinent costs for registering the trademark in the United States, Canada, or the European Union. Clearly, I don't want to do that because this is just for an example, but obviously you get the idea. So it's trademarkia.com. All you do is just key in your keyword or your phrases in there, click search, and obviously it will come back to tell you whether or not there's a trademark on the phrase or on the word. Now, be aware, for each country you're going to sell your design in, you need to make sure that it isn't trademarked in that particular country. But for the most part, because of the fact that a lot of print-on-demand websites do sell in the United States, it's a sure bet that if you don't find it on the US trademark website, you're not going to find it on others. But again, as a disclaimer, I'm not a legal expert on that. If you're uncertain, the best thing to do is to speak with a lawyer, just to make sure that you're not going to be infringing on any trademark in any country, just in case you want to go through with a word or a phrase. Okay? But this effectively is a very quick and easy way of finding whether or not the word or phrase is trademarked in the United States. Okay, before we move on, there's another thing that I want to speak to you about, and that pertains to the right of publicity and privacy with respect to famous people and celebrities. This is another sticking point with respect to the print-on-demand business. You cannot go and use the likeness of a celebrity or a famous person onto your own designs. There's a gray area with that. In one respect, you can do that with politicians, but you're not going to do that, for example, with sports stars or movie stars. That is definitely a no-no. With respect to movie stars and sports personalities, okay, they control the commercial use of their own image and whatever quotes that they use. If you come across an actor who's perhaps maybe stated a quote and you wanted to use that on the design, you may not be able to do that. Why? Because you don't know how that quote is going to be used on a t-shirt or on a mug in terms of the context. For example, it might just be that that actor wouldn't want the quotation that they stated to be used on something that they don't believe in. Then it might actually be associated with that actor and may or may not affect the reputation of that actor. So they clearly would not want that to happen. So it's very important with respect to actors and sports personalities, stay away from using their likeness or any quotations that they use on their designs, because it might come back and obviously affect you and your shop negatively. Now, what does Redbubble say with respect to trademarks? Okay, so here, according to Redbubble, a trademark is meant to represent a brand and protect against consumer confusion. If you were to use the title of a video game or a company's logo in your artwork, depending on how it's used, it could amount to trademark infringement, or lead a consumer to believe that the t-shirt you're selling is official merchandise being sold by the brand you've referenced. Unless you've worked out a deal with the owner of the specific trademark you used, or you're using the trademark in a legally acceptable way, your actions may infringe. Okay, so this is what Redbubble is stating with respect to trademark. It can even be trademark infringement if you modify a company's logo before using it in your art. Changing the color, the shape, or font of whatchamadoodad, okay, so I had never heard of this before, may still be similar enough to the original and amount to trademark infringement or a similar violation of someone's rights, like unfair competition or passing off. Okay, so this is just another reinforcement with respect to trademark and why it's important that you stay away from these kinds of things, or it could affect your shop negatively. So you don't want to be caught inside this. Now, another thing you need to be careful of is with respect to the keywords that you use. Sometimes you might create a design which absolutely goes nowhere infringing on any company or brand's trademark, but the type of keyword you use might lead to trademark infringement, even though it may have been done innocently. And this effectively happened to me a number of months ago too as well. Basically, the story was I was going through some photo folders from various holidays that I had visited. And one particular folder contained photos of a trip that I had taken to Canada. And I had visited a mini golf course which had the theme of dinosaurs. And I had taken these photos of the dinosaurs because they were really great. And I thought to myself, okay, this could really make a wonderful sticker pack. And effectively, that's what I did. I created a sticker pack based on dinosaurs. As you can see over here, I had then received a notification from Redbubble which stated, "We're sorry, but we had to remove your artwork from the Redbubble marketplace because it may contain material that violates someone's rights. The owner of these rights has provided us with guidance describing the type of content they consider infringing that should be removed from the marketplace. In most cases, this means that the rights holder did not specifically identify your work for removal, but that Redbubble has detected potential similarity between your removed work and one or more words, phrases, or images, including the rights holder's removal guidance." Now, what happened was I had come up with a bunch of keyword phrases pertaining to dinosaurs. And one of the keywords that I used was Jurassic World. Now, I didn't mean it to be with respect to the movie, but obviously to the time period of our Earth's history. Unfortunately, the Redbubble algorithm caught it, thought I was obviously trying to infringe on the trademark of the film, and subsequently, obviously, my sticker pack was taken down. Now, here's an example of the photos that I had taken. So clearly you could see they were not taken on any film set pertaining to Jurassic World. They were taken whilst on holiday, but because of the keyword that I had used, this had happened. So basically, sometimes it can work against you, all right? It's the nature of the game. Don't get caught up on it if it does, in the emotional resonance of it. I know, at that particular moment, I felt really, really horrible inside. I said, "Whoa, what do you mean it's taken down? It has nothing to do with the movie and whatnot. I was actually taking photos which were public for everybody to be able to use." But it happened, you know. I let it, the emotional resonance just leak out of me. And after a while, I said, well, cut my losses and move on. And should this happen to you, I want to provide you with the same advice. Cut your losses and move on. It's not worth trying to fight it. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to win. You're going to find that you've wasted a whole slew of time trying to fight it to get it back up. Time which you could have been using to create other designs and moving on. And in fact, that's what I did. So effectively, that's the difference between copyright and trademark and how it's actually affected me personally and how it could obviously affect you personally too as well throughout your print-on-demand journey. What's important is that you make sure that you stay away from trademark logos. Come up with original artwork that you've created, be it text design or graphic design. You're talented enough to not have to use trademark things. Besides, if you do end up using trademark things and your shop gets banned or closed, then all of the time that you would have invested in it would have been for naught. And you'd have to start again all the way from the beginning with a new shop. And really, in truth, is it worth it? Okay, so stay away from trademark things. Have fun creating, have fun designing, uploading, be careful of the keywords that you use, and there's no doubt in my mind why you shouldn't continue to find a degree of success with your Redbubble shop. But for today, that's all I've got. So as always, be well, be safe, be creative. Bye for now.